Okay, I'll start with front of my vehicle. My clearance lights, they are not missing. They are securely mounted. They are not cracked or damaged. My lenses are clean and proper color, which is yellow. My headlights, they are not missing. They are securely mounted. They are not cracked or damaged, and they are proper color. They clean and clear. My side lights, which is my turn signal lights, clearance lights, and four-way flasher lights, they are not missing, securely mounted. They are not cracked or damaged. My lenses are clean and proper color, which is yellow. Ну, там и зацепилась. So my engine compartment. First, I would like to check under my vehicle for signs of any oil leaks or any other leaks under my truck, such as drips from my engine or any other leaks. So it's dry, I have no leaks. This is my alternator. My alternator is belt driven, it's securely mounted, not missing nuts or bolts, it's not cracked, damaged, and it's working properly. My wires, they are secure, they are not broken, not cut, not burned, not exposed, and my wires not rubbing against other parts. My water pump is gear driven, securely mounted, not missing nuts or bolts. It's not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and it's working properly. My engine compartment belt, it's secure, it's not frayed, not cut, there's no loose fibers, and I should have no more than 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch deflection by pushing on center of the belt. Next, I'm gonna inspect all my clamps and hoses. My clamps, they are not missing, they are secure, they are not cracked, broken, or damaged. All my hoses, there is no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and they are not leaking. So I'll continue on another side. First, I'm gonna check my coolant reservoir. My coolant reservoir is securely mounted, it's not cracked, damaged, and it's not leaking, and my coolant level is above refill mark. My cap is secure and it's not missing. My power steering fluid reservoir is securely mounted, not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and my power steering fluid is above refill mark. My cap is secure and it's not missing or leaking. Air compressor. Air compressor is gear driven, it's securely mounted, not missing nuts or bolts, it's not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and it's working properly. My air compressor fittings and hoses, my fittings are not cracked, not damaged, not leaking, they are secure. My hoses, there is no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and they are not leaking. My engine oil dipstick. My engine oil dipstick, I will use it to check for proper level of my engine oil, and it should be above refill mark. My power steering unit. My power steering is gear driven, securely mounted, not missing nuts or bolts. It's not cracked, damaged, or leaking. It's my power steering pump, and it's working properly. Hoses and fittings. Hoses not cracked, damaged or leaking, they are secure. My hoses, there's no abrasions, bulges or cuts or leaks. And next I'm gonna check all my clamps and hoses. My clamps not missing, they are secure, they are not cracked, damaged or broken. And all my hoses, there are no abrasions, bulges or cuts, they are not leaking, and they are not rubbing against other parts. Also I'm gonna check all my electrical wires. All my wirings, they are secure, there is no cut, broken or exposed wires, there is no burned wires, and my wires not rubbing against other parts. Next I'm gonna inspect my steering linkage. My steering column, it's not bent, cracked or broken, and it's secure. My steering gearbox is securely mounted to the frame, not missing nuts or bolts. It's not cracked, damaged or leaking. My pitman arm and my push rod, they are secure, not missing nuts or bolts. The cotter key is not missing, it's intact on both ends. And bushings on both ends, it's not missing, not cracked, damaged or excessively worn. My drag link, it's secure, it's not bent, cracked or damaged. Next I'm gonna inspect my suspension, my lift spring mounts and brackets. My lift spring brackets, they're securely mounted to the frame, they're not missing nuts or bolts, and they are secure. My lift springs, they are not missing, not shifted, not cracked or damaged, and they are secure, and there is no illegal weldings on them. My lift spring bushings on both ends, they are not missing, they are not damaged, not cut, and they are not excessively worn, and they are secure. My U-bolts, they are not missing, they are not bent, cracked or damaged, and my U-bolt nuts, they are secure and they are not missing. Next I'm gonna inspect my shock absorber. My shock absorber is securely mounted, not missing nuts or bolts. My shock absorber bushings are not missing, not damaged or excessively worn, and my shock absorber not cracked, damaged or bent, and it's not leaking. My brake air hoses, there's no abrasions, bulges or cuts, and it's not leaking, and it's not rubbing against other parts. Fittings, they are secure, not cracked, damaged or leaking. My brake chamber is securely mounted to the frame. My brake chamber is securely mounted, not missing nuts or bolts. It's not cracked, bent, damaged, and it's not leaking. And my brake chamber clamp is secure. It's not loose, not damaged, not leaking. Next I'm gonna inspect my slack adjuster and my push rod. My slack adjuster is securely mounted to the it's securely mounted, it's not missing nuts, bolts or any other parts. It's not bent, cracked or broken, and my pins and cotter keys, they are secure and they are not missing. And my push rod, I should not have no more than 1 inch play. I can check that by pushing or pulling by hand when my brakes are released. And next I'm gonna check my brake drums and brake linings. My brake drums, they are not cracked, there's no holes or grooves on them, and there is no signs of oil or grease. And my brake linings, they are securely mounted, there is no loose or broken parts, and my brake pads at least 1/4 inch. Next I'm gonna inspect, and there is no signs of oil or grease on them. My tire tread, it's evenly worn. There is no signs of tread separation, and tire tread depth at least 4/32 of inch. My tire sidewall, there's no abrasions, bulges or cuts, and there is no leaks. My B flange, it's not cracked, damaged or bent, and there is no illegal weldings on it. My rim, it's not bent, cracked, damaged, or there is no weldings on it. My lug nuts, all my lug nuts, my lug nuts not missing. They're all securely fastened, and there is no signs of rusty trails or shiny treads, and there is no cracks radiating from my lug nuts. Hub oil seal. My hub oil seal is securely mounted, not missing nuts or bolts. It's not cracked, damaged. It's not leaking, and I will check for proper oil level by removing a cap. My valve stem. My valve stem is secure. It's not bent, cracked, or damaged. It's not leaking, and I will use my tire pressure gauge to check for my proper inflation. Next I'm gonna inspect my mirrors. My mirrors, it's securely mounted. My brackets, they are not bent, cracked or missing, and it's secure, and it's properly adjusted from inside. My driver's side door, it opens and closes securely, and seal is intact, and my hinges, they are not missing, they are secure, they're not bent, cracked or broken. My steps are securely mounted, they are not bent, cracked or damaged. They are clean, there is no signs of oil or grease on them, and they are solid. My fuel tank is securely mounted, it's not bent, cracked or damaged, and it's not leaking. My fuel tank cap, it's secure, it's not cracked, damaged, and it's not leaking. My straps, they are securely mounted, they are not missing nuts or bolts, they are not cracked, bent or broken, they are secure. My safety compartment, I have here 3 reflector triangles. I have spares, fuses, and I have my fire extinguisher, which is securely mounted. It's fully charged, it's up to date, and it's labeled and dated. My side lights, my tractor side light, which is my clearance light, my turn signal light, and also it's my 4-way flasher light. It's not missing, it's securely mounted, it's not cracked or damaged. My lines are clean, and it's not cracked, and it's proper color, which is yellow. Next I'm gonna inspect my trailer clearance lights. They are not missing, they are securely mounted, they are not cracked or damaged, they are clean and proper color, which is yellow. Next I'm gonna inspect my bulkhead, which is front wall of my trailer. It's not bent, cracked or damaged. So next I'm gonna inspect my couplings, my truck and trailer coupling, which is my electrical connection. My electrical connection is securely plugged on both ends. It's securely plugged and fully plugged position and locked, and my plugs, they're not damaged and they are secure. Now my electrical wire, there's no cut wires or broken or exposed wires or burned wires, and my wire is not rubbing against any other parts. And my air lines, my air connections, this end it's secured. The fittings are secure, not cracked, damaged or leaking. My hoses, there is no abrasions, bulges or cuts. They are not leaking and they are not pinched. And on this end, my fittings on this end, they are secure, they are not cracked, damaged or leaking. My glove hands, my both glove hands, they are secure, not damaged, cracked or leaking. They are a fully locked position, and the seal is intact. It's not cracked, damaged, not excessively worn, and it's not leaking air. Next, I'm gonna inspect my dock plate or catwalk. My catwalk is securely mounted. It's not bent, cracked or damaged. It's clean. There is no signs of oil or grease on it, and it's solid. My steps are securely mounted, not missing nuts or bolts. Brackets are not bent, cracked or damaged. Steps are secure, they are clean, there is no signs of oil or grease on them, and my steps are solid. My splash guard. Next, I'm gonna inspect my splash guards. My splash guards are securely mounted, not missing nuts or bolts or clamps. It's not cracked or damaged, and the proper height, it's at least to the center of my axle. Next, I'm gonna inspect my drive shaft. My drive shaft is securely mounted. It's not cracked, broken or damaged, and my drive shaft couplings, they are secure, not damaged, cracked or broken, and there is no foreign objects between them, and there is no leaks from my drive shaft. So next, I'm gonna inspect next I'm gonna inspect my drive axle. I will do the same inspection on my drive axle as I did on my steer axle. I'll do same inspection on my leaf springs, brackets and mouths, on my leaf springs, on my bushings. I'll do same inspection on my U-bolts. I'll do same inspection on my shock absorbers. I will do same inspection on my brake chamber, hoses and fittings. Same inspection on my slack adjuster and push rod, and also I will do same inspection on my brake drums and brake linings. But on my drive axle also we have a torque arm. I'll do full inspection on my torque arm. My torque arm is securely mounted. It's not cracked, bent or damaged, not missing nuts or bolts, and my torque arm bushings, they are not missing, they are not cut, damaged or excessively worn. Also here on my drive axle we have dualies, my dual tires, so I have a butt spacing, so I'll do full inspection on my butt spacing. My butt spacing is clean, there is no foreign objects between them, my tires not rubbing against each other, and it's evenly spaced. My butt space is evenly spaced. I will do inspection on my drive axle tires tread. It's evenly worn, there's no signs of tread separation, but on my drive axle tire My tire tread depth on my drive axle, they should be at least 2/32 of inch. And I will do same inspection on my tire sidewalls, my bead flange, my same inspection on my rim, my lug nuts, my hub oil seal, and my valve stem. I will do same inspection. Also on my drive axle tires, I will use my tire pressure gauge to check for proper inflation. Okay. Also on my drive axle, we have airbag, so I'll do full inspection on my airbag. My airbag brackets, they are not missing, they are not bent, cracked, or damaged. It's securely mounted to the frame, not missing nuts or bolts. My airbag itself, there's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. It's not leaking, and it's not deflated. So next, I'm gonna inspect my frame and cross members. My frame is not bent, cracked, or damaged, not missing or loose parts, not missing cross member. My cross members are secure, they are not bent, cracked, or damaged. Next, I'm gonna inspect my fifth wheel. I have here, it's a sliding fifth wheel. My sliding fifth wheel mechanisms, it's air powered. And my air hoses, they are secure, fittings not cracked, damaged, or leaking. The air hoses, there's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. They are not pinched, they are not leaking, and not rubbing against other parts. There is no leaks. Fifth wheel platform base, securely mounted. My brackets not missing nuts or bolts. My sliding mechanism pins, they are not bent, cracked, damaged, or missing. They are fully engaged, and my fifth wheel is properly adjusted. My sliding fifth wheel is properly adjusted, so I have enough space between my map flap and my landing gear when I make turns, so my landing gear and my map flap and my frame doesn't touch. So my fifth wheel plate, it's securely mounted, it's not bent, cracked, or damaged, and pin and cover key is intact. My apron is secure, it's not damaged, cracked, or bent, and my apron sitting on my fifth wheel plate flat, there is no gap between them, and my fifth wheel plate is properly greased. Next, I'm gonna inspect my release arm. My release arm in fully locked and latch position. My locking jars, they are fully locked around of shank of my kimping, and I can check that from back side. My kimping is not bent, not cracked, or damaged, and there is no illegal weldings on it. And my fifth wheel plate, it's properly greased. Next, I'm gonna inspect my map flaps. They are securely mounted, not missing nuts, bolts, or any other parts. It's not damaged, not cracked. The reflectors are securely affixed. They are clean, and my map flap height, it's at least hangs to center of my axle. Next, I'm gonna check my tractor tail lights. My tractor tail lights, which is my clearance lights, my brake lights, my turn signal lights, and four-way flasher lights. They are not missing, securely mounted, not cracked or damaged. They are clean and proper color, which is red. Next, I'm gonna inspect my landing gear. My landing gear is not damaged, cracked, or bent. it's secure. My landing gear is fully raised position. My crank handle, it's secure, it's not bent, cracked or damaged. My landing gear pads not missing, not bent, cracked or damaged, and the pin is not missing, and it's secure.